Want to know how money is made? Namely, made, not earned? Then read this article carefully, very carefully, and thoughtfully. There is no secret here at all. Forget all these phrases for idiots right away. You need to think and understand, then you will be able to tame money and domesticate it. And there are no miracles here. There are no super profitable schemes for lazy people either. So either rack your brains and delve into what I have written, or look for wizards elsewhere, because I am a serious person. So, I have already written about how people make money, so now it's time to write about how to make money. And this is perhaps a more important topic, because we all need money, and working for it is not always profitable. Of course, I have already touched on this issue in my previous articles, but not as specifically as I am going to do in this article, because understanding the issue of money should come to a person gradually. It will be difficult for ordinary people to immediately get into this topic. So, you need money, this is obvious, otherwise you would not be reading this article. You need a lot of money, which means that the usual way of earning it will not suit you at all. In the overwhelming majority of cases, hired labor is not paid at all decently. Usually we are talking about crumbs from the royal table, which, I am sure, is not enough for you for a normal and especially for a beautiful life. Given the above, we will immediately draw the conclusion that if you need money, normal money, then you should not earn it, but make it. How? Well, you just need to come up with a trick, in which people will agree to give you their money, and you in turn will accept it with gratitude. I'm not kidding, you just probably don't understand that money does not fall from the sky, it comes into our pockets from the pockets of other people. And the whole trick of the capitalist economy is to convince people by any means necessary to part with their money. Of course, money can be taken from a person, but this is illegal, for most of us at least. Also, money can be printed, which is also allowed only to the chosen ones. So, you and I, within the limits of what is available, only have to convince people to part with their money in our favor. And then we will make as much money as is possible to do in this way. And in this way, I tell you, you can make a lot of money. Where to start? Start with your own spending, with their analysis. Look at what you personally spend your money on, what exactly you are being scammed on. And just don't tell me now that you spend your money on necessary things, that all your spending is justified and so on. You can tell this crap to anyone, but not to me. If you knew how to handle your money, then, firstly, you wouldn't be reading this article, and secondly, there would be significantly fewer people in our world who guzzle like crazy. Have you seen these guys driving expensive cars, with awesome chicks? Have you seen what kind of palaces they have, with what kind of swimming pools? And have you seen their yachts, and personal planes, and bank accounts? They live like crazy, and what about you, spending money left and right, on imaginary pleasure and supposedly necessary things? That's it. No, I understand that you are smart people, you tell me that here is corruption, official theft, slave labor, on which I make money and the like. What in your opinion makes some people rich, and the rest are left with scraps? Yes, I won't argue. Of course they steal and exploit and engage in racketeering, that's why they live like kings, all this exists. But this is not the only thing that can bring money into your pocket. What about all these businesses, all this crap that has grown like mushrooms after the rain today and that really feeds people well? That's what you should pay attention to, those ways of earning money that can't even be called earnings, but which bring in quite a lot of money in a completely legal way. So, if you have carefully analyzed all your cash expenses, because of which money leaves you for someone else, then now think about whether you can do something similar in turn to convince people to part with money for the sake of something special of yours. That is, we are talking about sales, and it doesn't matter what you will sell, goods, services, air, who cares? The main thing is that you sell it to people. You will sell, you will have money, you will argue with my proposal, you will work until the end of your days. While you are pondering my words, or rather, my writings, delving into what I am trying to explain to you here, and trying to understand what the hell sales are, you still need to master. I in turn want to recommend you to read one of my articles, which is called, Who Needs Money? So that you learn a little more about my understanding of the issue of money and take something else useful for yourself from my site. You can do this later, after you finish reading this article. Well, now let's continue making money. Perhaps you will say, I have nothing to offer people, I have nothing that I could sell them, I don't know how to do anything, therefore I have no goods, and I can't provide services, because I don't know how to do anything and I don't want to do anything either. Excellent. You have a direct road to business. Those who do not want and do not know how to work in this world of capitalism, do business. Do you know how they do it? Simple. In this life, there are people who, unlike you, know how to do something and they are looking for work. Note that people, specialists in different fields, are looking for work for themselves. They do not need money, they need work. Or rather, they need money through work, because they were taught this way at school, found an uncle, did as he said and got candy from him. That is why they are looking for work. And you, as a person of great goals, must give them this work so that they, these specialists, can earn you money. Well, for example, some company needs the services of, say, a programmer, and the programmer is looking for a job. You, being a savvy person, see both of them and offer the programmer a job, and the company, respectively, a service. Do you understand how it works? You can create a company, for example, that will repair anything, hire repairmen and find customers. And that's it. Some receive services, others work, you count the money earned, pay salaries, and live happily ever after. Is it difficult? Do you even understand what I'm talking about? No, well, don't rush, there's no need to rush, think carefully about what I've written, don't give birth to a huge number of questions, you just need to think. This scheme is painfully simple, but many who understand the meaning of mediation use it, and people, I assure you, make a lot of money this way. It only seems difficult. I was also afraid when I started, because they taught me to stand on all fours for money, 10 damn years at school. How can you recover from all that, so right away? Read my article, Little Money, and supplement it with the one I have already written in this article, because reading another sensible article will not make you feel worse, but you will definitely benefit from it. As for the product, that is, selling what you do not have, then things are even simpler here. The buy-sell scheme is amazing in its simplicity, but not many people use it. Today, not only can you take a product, drag it around the corner and sell it with a markup, but you can also sell the product that you do not have at all. That is, you can sell someone else's product, but not as a seller for a salary, but as a partner for a percentage. You see, friends, it was not by chance that I began to explain to you how to make money, by drawing your attention to what you spend this money on. Well, people are stupid today. And really so stupid, they do not know how to manage money at all, even those who study at the economics department. No, I'm serious, I have friends who graduated from some financial and economic universities, and now these financial geniuses are sitting there, up to their ears in debt, whining that they don't have enough money. So there is no need to be skeptical about the fact that you can resell and sell everything for any price. You just need to understand how it is done. And I told you how to understand. Look at how you yourself part with money, to whom you give it and for what. In my article, Man and Money, I wrote a lot about the issue of money, from the point of view of the peculiarity of understanding this issue by most people. We know little about money, but we do not understand this. It seems to us, not all, but many, that with money everything is simple and clear. And the fact that we do not have this money is just bad luck. Read it later, when you have time, it will not be superfluous for you. Poverty and wealth, it is not a question of luck, it is a question of understanding. You understand how money is made, how it works, by what rules it is distributed and so on, then you will be able to make it. If you do not understand, then the most you can do with the money you earn is to fuck it up. Now they talk a lot about investments and all that, like money needs to be invested so that it multiplies, but how and where, they are in no hurry to explain. Honestly, they are in no hurry to explain. They will offer you scams in abundance, that's fine, but as for really necessary things, where it wouldn't hurt you to invest your money, here, excuse me, people themselves need a magic tablecloth. And now I will show you that I am a good, honest guy, maybe not as honest as Gandhi, but still honest. You need to invest money, provided that you have little of it, in your education. But in financial education. I emphasize especially in financial education. Not in all sorts of fucking sex, of which there are plenty now, which comprehend all sorts of higher matter and other imperceptible and boundless things, not in all sorts of mutual aid funds and similar sharashkas, but in financial education. I told you how to make money, maybe I didn't chew everything up to the smallest detail. Well, if you please, I don't work for money, I have the right not to go into details, but in general I explain to you how money is made. If you don't get it, then either wait for my new articles, in which I will tell you something else and you will understand the whole system on the basis of my materials, or look for those who will teach you how to manage finances and introduce you to a more complete understanding of financial issues. But don't rush to leave, I can still tell you a lot to at least slightly turn your brain into the right state. I myself worked for many years, I think a lot, for all sorts of ghouls and counted pennies, so I understand you like no one else. But you also understand, money, being the very mediator between us and our good, is not given to anyone easily. Only for it you can either bend your back or strain your brain, and the latter, I will tell you, is preferable. I recommend you read my article, Money and Taxes, so that you understand how other people, special people, thirst for other people's money, that is, your money, which they then cut up among themselves like a pie at a birthday party. Of course, taxes are also spent on good purposes, but if they were always spent only on good purposes, we would definitely notice and appreciate it. But that's not the point. You want to learn how to make money, I remember why you came here. I think you will learn how to sell goods and services, maybe not right away, but you will learn. However, let's think about this now. Trust. You need to be able to inspire people's trust in you, and not in order to trample this trust into the dirt, but so that people see you as a serious, responsible, businesslike, and generally good person with whom they can do business. What I mean is that you don't need to deceive anyone to make money, it's not a necessary procedure at all. After all, you can now say, I recently screwed up, bought a miracle thing and wasted my money. This is a lesson, of course, you need to learn it and no longer fall for fairy tales about miracle products, but you must understand that this type of earnings is fickle. For too much deception, you can get a slap on the wrist, and all these scams in the style of Ostap Bender are less effective than serious work. You can shit on your name very quickly, you can borrow money from relatives and not return it, and now you are an asshole who is untrustworthy. Why do you need this? It is much better to do everything as it should be, so that people want to do business with you, from which you will skim the cream. However, it is your business how to make money. I do not teach anyone morality, I am just talking about profit. So, read, do not be lazy, my article, Your Money, delve into its contents and supplement your knowledge about money with new knowledge, thanks to which, I am sure, understanding of my words will come to you much faster. Of course, you can stick on scams, sell everything and everyone and make money, essentially without working, on suckers formatted by society, but you can build a whole empire of a great person, to whom people will always go with money, no matter what he offers them. I will say about myself that I have always worked honestly, maybe not crystal honestly, so that there is absolutely no benefit for myself, but I offered people such services and goods that they really needed and really brought them benefit. So, am I wearing out my last pair of pants? Not at all. I'm sitting here, well-fed, happy, more or less, typing an article for you, explaining to you what I spent years trying to figure out. And notice, I'm doing it for free. You might say, there are plenty of people like you on the internet and they're all teaching us something. Yes, there are plenty, but unlike me, you're sitting there without money, although you may be well-read to the point of insanity. It was the same for me. I didn't understand a damn thing from what people who were wealthier than me were saying. And it's not surprising, they made us like that. This system doesn't need us as rich, healthy, successful, and carefree people. That's why it makes us sick, stupid, preoccupied, wound up like toys, people who will work their asses off and end up in the trash. We all end up in the trash heap as soon as our engine starts to stall, and therefore, if we do not absorb the essence and meaning of a good life in time, maybe not a luxurious one, but a good one, our life will be just a dud. You don't have to be a workhorse to make money, you need to look for opportunities to give some people what they need, through those people who can, that's all. Is this a scam? It is, but not on our part, but on the part of those who teach people to work that is deadly for them, from which they will not receive anything, and you and I simply use this tool for our own purposes. In the end, look for yourself. What do modern youth need? A job in an office, in a famous company, recognition from the boss, a career, a salary, and the like. Slaves themselves want slave chains, they don't know anything else. Are we to blame for this? Am I to blame for this? Who is to blame for the fact that people want to work for someone else, and not for themselves? Think about this question for yourself. Making money is not difficult, you just need to give people what they need, and they need either all sorts of junk, or work, or all sorts of entertainment, but not money. People get rid of money by all means, spend it on everything. You need money, if I'm not mistaken, so make it, satisfying the endless needs of our crazy consumer society. That's it, and what did you think? That people do witchcraft or wear special talismans, and that's why they get rich? No, they cut the common people's hair, as best they can. You don't necessarily need to deceive someone for this, you can, and I think you should, just be useful to people so that they pay you for it. This is what I urge you to do. Sell people what you can sell and what they are ready to buy, and you will always have money.